Whatever you do, do not go near the woman dancing in Serbia. She's usually seen dancing in a dress in the middle of the night on a street. People believe that if you approach her, she may attack you. Now, there hasn't been any actual reports of her hurting anybody, so this whole thing could be a hoax or a prank, but you guys have to see these videos because they're creepy. If you don't already know what's happening to TikTok, it is facing a potential ban in the US. The CEO was grilled by US lawmakers over security issues and harmful content on this app. Which honestly, I've seen more harmful stuff on Instagram and Facebook, but I guess they don't want to talk about that. After watching today's hearing, it's not looking good for TikTok. It's almost like they already made up their mind, and the way they were talking to him was so rude. Watch this.
We do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age gating as our key age assurance.
Age
gating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public. So if you post a video you choose that video to go public, dangerous challenges are not allowed on our platform. If we find them, we will remove them. We take this very seriously.
Obviously, you found one today and you removed it. We had to bring it to your attention, and I know I'm out of time. Thank you for being here. Welcome again to the most bipartisan committee in Congress.
I thought everything was good after this photo came out. I'm like, finally, the drama will disappear. You know, they could go on with their lives. But you guys started uncovering some really creepy things about this one. I'm like, you know what? The tattoo is reaching. There's no way Hailey Whitten got the same tattoo as Selena. But guess what? She did. There's a lot more, though. Like the pink dress and the pose. Selena starts a cooking show, but so does Hailey. Oh, this too, by the way. Coincidence, right? Why not copy the same ring, too? But if you thought that was creepy, just wait until I show you guys the interviews. After seeing this photo, all of that Hailey copying Selena now makes sense. She's a fan, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. If anything, it's a compliment for Selena. She likes her style. See? This too. And this. But if you're like a real Selena fan, then you gotta start talking like her too. Watch this.
Kiddo. Oh, sorry, I have to put $1 in the jar every time I say okie dokie. Okie dokie? Forget. Bye. Complete. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie is a very common phrase, and I'm sure we all use that word, right?
Asked me a while ago, what's the one thing you wish people knew about you? And I said I wanted it to be my heart.
What do you wish more people knew about you?
My heart.
I really felt like I always battled with the idea that people didn't really know me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know Hailey for Hailey. And I just always had this constant battle where I was saying, I wish people just knew my heart. And I
The first CD and the first concert I ever purchased.
That is interesting.
It was
Wait, she was the first concert you went to?
in the first CD I ever had.
She was the first record I ever bought, and she was the first concert I ever went to, Baby One More Time.
Britney documentary yet, and I love Britney Spears. She was the first concert I ever went to. Like, I idolized her as a kid, and
That was one of the moments where I was like, I don't have to be that 19-year-old body shape anymore because I'm not.
like, I'm also growing up. That's the other thing too that I think I'm learning is I'm not 19 anymore. I'm 24 now. I feel like my body has changed the most, even this.
On today's episode of What is Going On in the World, these two are being accused of trying to start World War III due to a prank that they tried to pull. They thought it would be a great idea to fly a giant white balloon over the Chinese embassy. Then they admitted that their mission was very dangerous. Well, duh. Meanwhile, the US still hasn't provided any new information about those white balloons, except that they're not from aliens. Great. If you thought that was crazy, did you guys see this image? The very popular Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil was struck by lightning at the top of the head. Don't freak out, this is probably just a random coincidence. Whoever is playing Jumanji needs to quit the game now. First, we have these China balloon things. One day it's a threat, the next day it's not a threat. Nobody knows what's going on. And we have these beaming lights that are mysteriously appearing everywhere. This in Michigan, those in Hawaii. And on February 3rd, a train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. releasing very toxic and hazardous material, but you probably didn't hear about it until 24 hours ago. Because when a reporter from News Nation tried to cover it, he got arrested. I didn't even know about this until he popped up on my For You page, which, by the way, he's doing an amazing job covering this. And because his videos are now blowing up, every news outlet is suddenly picking up this story. And because of this hazardous material, residents are reporting a foul smell, their animals passing away, but no surrounding states have received an alert on this. And they're telling everybody in that community that they're safe, they're okay, they could drink the water now. Just when you thought I was done, I'm not. This truck tipped over in Arizona leaking nitric acid. I quit. Okay, so go grab your tea. We need to talk about the birds. They are literally everywhere and they're starting to worry some people. I'm terrified of crows, so when I see something like this, it creeps me out. Watch this.
Hey, do y'all remember that movie, The Birds? I don't know what else to say to y'all. But, I'm gonna hurry up and go in the store.
Some people believe that when they see a bunch of crows like that, it could mean natural disaster. I don't know about all that, but what do you guys think? I cannot get over how creepy this video is. This child had a babysitter, but it wasn't a person. Watch this. Who is pulling the string and what do they want? This is the creepiest place in Oregon. The Temple of Oculus Anubis holds so many interesting theories, especially within the last couple of years. 30-foot black gates with no trespassing sign sits right at the front of the entrance. Really large Egyptian-like sculptures and statues are all around this property. A stone door that may lead to an underground tunnel. But where does it go? Now, this place is not open to the public. It is 100% private property that was once owned by an eye doctor. He made millions conducting insurance fraud out of his optometry business, then passed away from a stroke, leaving this eerie place to his son. Nobody's allowed there unless they're invited. But the real question is, would you go? If you ever see or hear a ghost in your home, this is exactly how you want to escape it. Watch this.
How's stuff at?
Mom, where's my Gucci? Oh, it's a ghost in here.
No, I'm not. Come on, Janae. Come on, Janae. Janae, come on. Janae, come on, freak. Come on. Janae, come on. It's a ghost in this motherfucker.
Thank you to Dre and Janae for teaching us how to survive a ghost encounter. For those who love Terrifier 2, there's another movie coming to theaters on February 9th. It's basically like Blair Witch, but creepier. I have the trailer, I'm going to play it for you, but this is your warning. If you don't like scary stuff, I would pass right now.
I'm so worried about you and your brother. I haven't heard from you guys in days. I had a really bad dream. It was horrible. It was really, really sad. Please call me. I'm so worried. I love you. I love you.
What are you reporting? Can you hear me?
Some would call this case a crime, but others would call it justice. On March 6, 1981, Marianne Bachmeyer had to face the monster who unalived her 7-year-old daughter. His name was Klaus Grabowski, and he was sitting in a courtroom filled with people during the trial. That's when Marianne pulled out a pistol that was hiding secretly in her purse and shoots him 7 times. In her official statement, she wrote, "I did it for you, Anna." Anna was lured by Grabowski and strangled. This was Marianne's revenge. She was sentenced to prison for 6 years, but was released on parole after serving only 2 years. Someone needs to tell Annabelle the doll to move over because there's a new possessed Annabelle. I'm not joking either. Her eyes moved in this video. Watch this.
Oh my
God, I swear to God, this thing just fucked at me. Oh my fuck.
See, that's why we shouldn't open the real Annabelle case. Okay, now she's like possessing onto monkey dolls and stuff. Did you guys see that video of that hospital employee greeting an invisible patient? It happened in a hospital in Argentina. The door is open, but nobody walks in. The worker approaches the invisible person and then starts taking notes down. After that, the employee grabs a wheelchair for this ghost patient. Watch this. You know that really creepy movie that just came out called Megan? Well, apparently she was singing a really scary lullaby, and I have a clip of it. Watch this.
Ricochet, you take your aim, fly away, fly away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Good night, Katie. Good night, Megan.
Creepy facts you didn't know about. Every time you blink, someone dies. 7.5 million people are stalked per day. A 13-year-old got struck by lightning on Friday the 13th at 13:13. Creepy facts you didn't know about. There's a room called the Red Room. It's where they kidnap people and kill them. 80% of children see their imaginary friend after they died. Don't look at yourself in a mirror at 3 to 4 a.m. It's not your reflection. Creepy facts you didn't know about. In the Middle Ages, if someone was hanged for a crime, their body might have been left on the gallows for up to a year. 14 years before the Titanic sunk, a book was published about an unsinkable ship that hit an iceberg and sank. The ship was called the Titan. Disturbing facts you didn't know about. One in 4 Americans actually believe that the sun rotates around the earth. Studies show that the average person will wait 5 months of their lifetime for red lights to turn green. Finally, you are now closer to death than you were when you started this video. Creepy urban legend you didn't know about. The Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts. The Bridgewater Triangle is an area of about 200 square miles, claimed to be a site of alleged paranormal phenomena, ranging from UFOs to poltergeists, orbs, balls of fire, and other spectral phenomena, various Bigfoot-like sightings, giant snakes, and thunderbirds. According to one tale, Native Americans had cursed the swamp centuries ago because of conflict with colonial settlers. A revered object of the Wampanoag people, a belt known as the Wampum Belt, was lost during King Philip's War. Legend says that the area owes its paranormal unrest to the fact that this belt was lost from the native people. Creepy urban legend you didn't know about. El Sulpicio, El Salvador, is the son of La Siguanaba. When his mother was cursed for eternity, he too was cursed. He was to remain a child forever, some say with the intent to taunt La Siguanaba. He is a benevolent creature, one that is just mischievous, sort of trickster. He has the appearance of a young child, about 8 to 10 years old. He wears a huge hat and backwards feet, making it impossible to track him down. He loves to wallow through ashes and eats them too. He hides in bushes, by rivers and creeks, waiting for young women who take baths there. He throws compliments, flowers and rocks occasionally. His huge belly derives from malnourishment and his love for eating ashes, which he had to do because his mother, La Sigwanaba, neglected him. Adults cannot see him, but little kids can. If El Sulpicio chases you, you must eat on a toilet to get rid of him, because he hates disgusting habits. While most depictions of him claim he is benevolent, obnoxious, and a trickster, one story says otherwise. He is said to trick young girls into following him, and they then go missing forever. He lives in a cave in San Vicente, by a volcano called Chichen Tepec. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. The Matrikulan. The Philippines. This particular breed of monster impregnates virgins undetected and unseen in the night as they sleep, then returns to slay the woman and consume the fetus. Others believe that even the mother will be eaten too. Some people said they also kill and eat a pregnant woman and her baby. To protect his wife, the husband should swing a Bailasong butterfly knife above the woman's belly while on labor. There are no ways to notice if a matrikulan is inside the house. This is an unseen spirit that hunts pregnant women. Young ladies, be careful all the time. It might find you. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. The Pistaco. Peru. The Pistaco is often described as a pale-skinned foreigner, dressed in high boots, leather jacket, and wide-brimmed felt hat. He sneaks into graveyards to grind human skeletons into a paralyzing powder that he uses to incapacitate hapless travelers on nocturnal mountain roads and paths. He then uses a huge knife to behead and dismember his victims to extract their fat. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Japan. The Red Room Curse is an internet-focused story that starts with an ominous pop-up. The pop-up features a red screen with black text that reads, "Do you like the Red Room?" which is accompanied by a sinister pre-recorded voice asking the same question. No matter how many times you close the pop-up, it will continue to appear until the voice has finished its question. Afterward, your entire screen will turn red and become flooded with past victims' names. No one knows what happens next, but the receivers of the pop-up are always found dead with their blood painting the walls red, creating the titular Red Room. Once you receive the pop-up, it is impossible to escape your fate. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Japan. Torno Hanako-sen of the toilet. Hanako is the spirit of a young schoolgirl who met her end in an elementary school bathroom as a result of suicide due to bullying or World War II bombings, and is now said to haunt them. Many children test their wits by summoning the child's spirit. In order to summon her, you must go to a third-floor bathroom and knock on the third stall 3 times, after which you say, "Are you there, Hanako-san?" If you hear even the faintest reply, make a hasty exit. If you are to slow or choose to enter the stall, Hanako will drag you into the toilet, and you will never be seen again. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Teki is said to be the ghost of a woman or schoolgirl who fell on a railway line and was cut in half by an oncoming train. The vengeful spirit outraged by her untimely death now haunts urban areas and train stations at night. Since she no longer has legs, she drags herself on her hands and elbows, which produces a chilling teki sound. Should you encounter teki, run. If the malicious spirit catches you, she will slice you in half with a scythe. Although she lacks legs, she is extremely fast and has been known to keep up with cars. In some renditions of the story, she will ask you where her legs are, in which case you must reply Mission Expressway in order to survive. In less hopeful iterations, your only chance of survival is to outrun her, which is completely impossible. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. The Hathara Group, Pakistan. In the late 1980s, Karachi saw an increase in murders, and they were thought to be done by a serial killer. However, according to the police, a group of people would break into the house, steal all of the valuables, and then hammered people to death. The murders caused a massive uproar and panic in the city. The last known case attributed to the group was reported in May 1986. No arrests were ever made. The mystery of the Hathra group remains unsolved to this day. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Aisha Kandisha, Morocco. She is angry at all men, and she would do anything to drag them to her and possess their bodies or just frighten them to death. Women can rest assured, when it comes to her, she only wants to take revenge for old wounds that tore her body and her soul. Some accounts suggest that she lays near Azemmour, a city that was once held by the Portuguese. But to others, she is everywhere, unpredictable, and she can come at you when it's dark at night, when you are vulnerable in isolated areas and by your own. She is one of the most powerful and dangerous female jinn. Many people, especially men, said that they saw her in isolated areas while driving at night and that she would lure them in a way that they couldn't resist. But to Moroccan writer Fatima Mernissi, this is how it is believed Aisha would prey on her unfortunate victims. The female jinn is repugnant precisely because she is libidinous. Her favorite pastime is to assault men in the streets and in dark places, to force them into sexual intercourse with her, and ultimately to penetrate their bodies and stay with them forever, Mernissi added. So, if you happen to be a man, roaming the streets alone and in the dark, be careful. You never know when you could stumble on the succubus. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Kuldara, India. Once upon a time, there was a well-off village near Jaisalmer. One night, it just vanished. The village of Kuldara had 84 villages, and within a night, it ceased to exist. People say that villagers left their homes, but no one saw them leaving. How? Why? Where? These questions remain unanswered. According to an urban legend in India, a minister wanted to marry the daughter of the village chief. When rejected, the minister warned them to give him the girl within 24 hours or they will face consequences. The entire village thought of leaving rather than to give in to his cruel intent. But before they took off, they put a curse of death on Kuldara village. After that day, anybody that tried to live here faced death. Creepy urban legend you didn't know about. Nanjing soldiers, China. In 1939, during the horrors of Japanese aggression against the Republic of China in the Second Sino-Japanese War 1937 to 45, almost 3. All soldiers stationed in the rolling hills around Nanjing are said to have disappeared without leaving a single clue about their fate. The incident, according to folklore, began in December of 1939 or 1937, depending on who you talk to, when Colonel Li Fuxin stationed 2,988 troops amongst Nanjing's hills, a 3.2-kilometer area, with a view to defend a bridge on the Yangtze River against an impending Japanese attack. When Colonel Li awoke the following morning, he was told by his assistant that the soldiers at the defensive line were not responding to calls or signals. An investigation team was formed, but found the site completely abandoned upon arrival. There was no sign of struggle. Heavy weapons were still in place and ready to be fired, but nobody was there. Troops stationed at the bridge claimed no one had slipped by in the night. They were unsure of the missing soldiers' fate. Creepy urban legend you didn't know about. Were hyenas, Ethiopia. According to legend, were hyenas have long plagued places like Atug around the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan. Kids who wander away after dark are at risk. Strangers passing through town are subject to suspicion. Since the were-hyena transforms at night, and they have a taste for children. That sound that you could swear was a human voice calling your name from a distance. Werehyena. Unlike their folkloric werewolf cousins, werehyenas can be either human-born or hyenas disguising themselves as humans. Also, unlike werewolves, werehyenas are believed to be capable of transforming at will with the help of a magic stick or a sprinkling of ash. Sometimes the smell of human flesh alone could be enough to trigger a transformation. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. South Africa. The Pinky Pinky from Dolwanglio Bambu. The Pinky Pinky is an androgynous, jarring creature with rose-tinted skin, eyes, and shocking pink hair. It targets girls, particularly those dressed in pink underwear, just to torment them. Usually spotted in schools, the apparition's legend grew as parents used the story to stop their kids from breaking curfew or stopping out too late. If you weren't home by a certain time, the Pinky Pinky would make you their next victim. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Nigeria. Madam Koi Koi is a ghost in Nigerian and African urban legend who haunts dormitories, hallways and toilets in boarding schools at night. While in day schools, she haunts toilets and students who come to school too early or leave school late. She is often depicted wearing a pair of red heels or wearing a single heel. She is one of the most popular boarding school ghosts in Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Serbia. The Serbian dancing lady is an unnamed woman who dances at intersections and streets at night. She attacks anyone she hears or sees. She uses a knife when she attacks. She was last seen dancing near the city hospital. She danced in the middle of the road while a group of teenagers filmed. Several times the police went looking for her, but she just disappeared, which makes her even more mysterious. Some say the woman's name is Mira. She lives at Kvetkova, Serbia. Her face has never been seen or revealed. Her movements are similar to the Serbian folk kola. Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Texas. Demons Road, Huntsville, Texas. People that wander off down Demon's Road tell tales of disturbing encounters and an eerie feeling that sweeps over anyone who dares disrupt the spirits said to be lingering down Demon's Road. The old road leads to an old cemetery known as Martha's Chapel Cemetery. Locals warn curious people who desire to brave the path or to visit the graveyard to not provoke the spirits. Many of those warnings are spoken by those who claim that a spirit followed them home after being in the area. Want to visit Demon's Road? Google Bowden Road, Huntsville, Texas. Good luck and don't pick up any hitchhikers. Creepy facts you didn't know about. The word teratoma alone is creepy enough, but did you know that these tumors can grow their own hair, teeth, and muscle? We highly suggest you do not Google image search this. You may already know that your skin is the body's largest organ, but did you know that the average adult sheds close to 500 million skin cells every day? Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Texas. Ghostly nurse of Bexa County, San Antonio, Texas. Janine N. Jones, born July 13, 1950, is an American serial killer responsible for the deaths of up to 60 infants and children in her care as a licensed vocational nurse during the 1970s and 1980s. In 1984, Jones was convicted of murder and injury to a child. She had used injections of digoxin, heparin, and later succinylcholine to induce medical crises in her patients, causing numerous deaths. The exact number of victims remains unknown. Hospital officials allegedly misplaced and then destroyed records of Jones' activities to prevent further litigation after Jones' first conviction. I haven't killed a damn soul. I always cry when babies die, said Janine Jones. You can almost explain away an adult death. When you look at an adult die, at least you can say they've had a full life. When a baby dies, they've been cheated. They've been cheated out of a hell of a lot. Creepy facts you didn't know about. The human body is at its weakest point 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. This is when most people die, in their sleep. The funniest people are said to be the most depressed. People die from Alzheimer's because their body forgets to either breathe or swallow. Crazy facts you didn't know about. You fart on average 14 times a day, and air is shot out of you at speeds of 7 miles per hour. On average, you fart enough per day to fill up a balloon. The firstborn child usually has the highest IQ out of all their siblings. Creepy urban legends didn't know about. South Africa. Murderous birdmen of the Eastern Cape. A deeply spiritual place, the Eastern Cape is home to a higher concentration of witch doctors than anywhere else in the country. Some Sangomas dabble with arts no other dark sorcerers would even consider, though the Impundulu lightning bird is man-sized and can switch between human and ornithological forms. When it attacks people, it sucks the blood from their bodies like a terrifying squawking Dracula.